you go guys, you can always tell summer's on the way, well into spring. I've got the top on my gazebo. Always makes me feel better. Now in the pond just lately I have noticed this is a bad time of year for fish. They're just coming out of winter into the spring, and I have noticed one or two of them have been flicking or flashing as they call it, rubbing themselves up against anything in the pond. So that to me just means one thing: I have got parasites, which is quite common this time of year. When the fish are at the lowest, parasites can start to take over. The normal immune system's not keeping them down because it's not up to scratch. So what I shall be doing is giving the pond a treatment. It's a mixture of formalin and malachite green, and I'll show you how that goes. There you go guys, that's the new air stone on the pond. It's an 8-inch air stone. That's what the new pump's running, and I do have the long thin air stone up the other end. That's about a foot long, but it's just a long thin air stone. What I'm going to do now before the treatment is just give the pond a quick hoovering out, just to get rid of a lot of the dirt, and then we shall see how that goes. Okay, so this is what I shall actually be treating them with. It's for malachite. It's a mixture of the two, formalin and malachite green. Now, it is quite a strong mixture, so you do have to be careful with it. So I will be watching my fish quite a time after I've put it in. The dosage for my pond, 2,500 gallon, is 250 ml, so I will be putting 250 ml of this in to combat the parasites, and we'll see how it goes. I will just show you quickly inside the box of tricks. Just lift the lid and I'll show you inside there. I have actually done a tidy up on my pipe work, so now the pipe actually comes in. One side goes to the side of my UV and it comes out into the filters, and the other side goes straight to the filters. So I've done a bit of a tidy up job there on the pipe work. And also in here I can show you down the bottom there my new pump, which is obviously the one on the right. I did actually get that off eBay, which I thought was quite cheap, brand new for £47. And it pumps 80 litres a minute of air, so that is supplying the pond with all that air. It is actually on a timer up here. It's on that timer there, so I can have it on for an hour and off for an hour, or as and when I want. I obviously don't run it in the night. As you can hear, it does make a little bit more noise than my old air pump, but then again it's pumping nearly 3 times as much air as the old one, so I suppose you expect that. The bigger you get, the more noise you're going to get. Okay guys, I'm just going to show you, hope you can see this. I've just switched the water off to my filters, and I'd just like you to see how much dirt this has actually caught, this K1. I'm not sure whether you can see that, but they're absolutely coated with dirt. It's doing an absolute brilliant job. I hope you can see that. That's all the dirt it's caught in just over a week. And this is the K1, not the micro. But I really wanted to show you what it was doing. But that has really caught some dirt from that pond. So let's take a look at the micro. See how that's doing. Don't forget, this is still maturing yet. It's not been in there that long. But as you can see, it's not quite as dirty, as I say, because the K1 is doing all the work, I think. This is, like I said, just polishing it off, but there is dirt in there. It is catching some, and that's what it's doing, just polishing the water, which is exactly what it was put in there for. So I shall now carry on and get these filters clean. And there you go guys, I hope you can see that. Really dirty. Bearing in mind I have hoovered my pond out, which I did stir quite a bit up there, but this K1 has really cleared it out. I have way underestimated this K1, it's brilliant stuff. And there's the micro tub, and there's still a decent amount of dirt in there. So it is definitely catching some. Like I say, I'm quite pleased with the way I've got this system set. It's really working well. When you see the dirt coming out your filters like that, you know you're doing some good. And that's the thing about this system, it's just so easy to clean. Here we go guys, topping it up. So we'll just let this top up and fill the next tub up. And there's just one point I wanted to show you about this. I've only just noticed it doing it. I'm normally watering the garden at this stage. Okay, now the first tub is full. Going on to the micro tub, it's filling up now. Just starting to fill up. Now what I wanted to show you, as soon as this tub gets full, is what happens in the first tub. Okay, now we see the micro tub coming up to level here, and it's just coming up to its water level. Now if we watch in the first tub, the water level is still rising, and it is rising above now what it usually runs at. The micro tub is coming up to level now, just a little bit more in there. But if we still keep our eye on this first tub, look, it is coming up towards the top, still rising. Now this is because of an airlock. There is an airlock in the main line. Now usually what happens, that's the main line down there, usually what happens is that the force of water will actually move the airlock. Now this has sometimes come nearly to the top of the tub. As you can see, it's running well high now, but if we look this side, don't know whether you can see that, but there are air bubbles coming up through the media, which is obviously coming from the connecting pipe. So there is air in the connecting pipe. This isn't actually getting as high as it used to. So this will go down. Once it moves that air in the line, this will steadily go back down to where it should be. So if anybody's worrying and the first tub is filling with water, chances are it could be an airlock in your connecting pipe. So just give it a shake or whatever and see if there is any air coming up. You will see it appearing in your next tub. It will be coming up through the media. There's still air bubbles coming up through there, so the water is slowly clearing the air that has got caught in your connecting pipe. So this now is starting to go down. It's moved some of the air and it is starting to sink back down to what it runs at. This will slowly go back down now. I just wanted to show you this in case anybody's having any problems. It is an airlock in your connecting pipe. Now I noticed this last time I cleaned the filters, it did actually nearly get to the top, but then all of a sudden started to sink back down and a load of air came up in the micro tub. So it is an airlock in the pipe and it does clear it. If not, just shake your pipe a little bit, your connecting pipe, to move the air. This is now sinking back down, look, to what it should run at now. I just wanted to show you that. I noticed it a while back, and it is an airlock, but it can be shifted. This now will run perfectly alright. Now the air's gone out of the pipe, this will run perfectly alright now. This is the little gel balls that contain the bacteria, and they slowly dissolve in your filter, releasing the bacteria, and that should give it the good kickstart for the summer and help it on its way. Okay, I've dropped some in there, as you can see, and stirred them in. There's just a few left on top. I've stirred most of them in, and in the last tub, I don't know whether you'll see them in there, they're flying around, but I have actually put some in that filter as well. Another thing I wanted to show you was the actual moving bed filter with the K1 in there. I have actually fitted 2 filter heads on there. I wasn't going to, it's just efficiency really. These 2 filter heads do work a lot better, so I've added them to the moving bed as well. The single one was working okay, I just thought it'll be that bit more efficient than the single one. Okay, so what I have actually done here, my first tub that originally was the swirl filter, and as you know I've now turned it into a mechanical filter. The pipes used to go in about 2/3 of the way up, but I have now, as you can see, got my pipes from the pump and the UV going in towards the bottom. So I've actually bought another barrel and reset that to accommodate the mechanical filter, because to be honest I'm going to keep it like this. I'm so impressed with the way it's working. It's catching, that first tub I would say, catching 3 times the amount of dirt that the swirl tank was, and it's really going well. So it's here to stay. I really like the way it's gone. That's the 2 lines in, one from the UV and one from the pump, straight from the pump. That's where I've put them in the tub. They used to be 2/3 of the way up the tub, but now I've got this system with this static filter bed. I've lowered them down. I found that the pipes that I had connected to the old inlet was slowing my pump down quite a bit. I just wanted to show you these. These are the pipes that actually went to the bottom of the tank on the first filter, and they're the filter cages that I had on the bottom, and if you look closely they were absolutely clogged with algae. They got blocked with algae and they were slowing the flow down on my pond. So that was one of the basic reasons I've removed these from it, and I haven't fitted these filter cages on the new connection. I'll show you the new tank and what I've done on the filter system. And as you can see down the bottom there, where the pipes go in, they now go in down the bottom, as opposed to they used to go in 2/3 of the way up. And I've put nothing on the other side of them. There's no filter cages or anything. They're just straight in onto bulkheads into the tank. Okay guys, what I've done, I did the filters yesterday, cleaned the filters, so I don't have to do them for another week and a half. I'm about to put the air on the pond. I've just hoovered it out quickly. That's why it's a little bit on the cloudy side today. And I'm about to put the treatment into the pond for these parasites. Okay guys, I've got everything ready. Got my watering can, my stirring stick. I have actually got an old 250ml bottle of this malachite, which was empty, and I keep that basically. If I use the big bottle I could lose count on how many doses I'm putting in, so I'll put 250ml in the smaller bottle, then I don't have to count. I know I use it until it's empty, and then they've got the full treatment. Right, as you can see I've put the air on the pond. I shall have that on quite a bit now. It'll also help circulate and mix this malachite into the water. But the pond's all ready, so we'll mix the stuff and start adding it to the pond. Okay, so what we do for a start is give it a good shake, make sure it's mixed well. I've already got the water in my can, so now what we do is squeeze the stuff into the chamber. I just put a chamber full in because I know exactly I've got 250ml in this bottle and it's all got to go in. So we tip that into the can, another chamber full, tip that into the can. So we'll give that a stir, make sure it's mixed in well. Okay, now we shall put it in the pond. Okay, that's one dose in the pond. We shall go for the second one. Now I shall keep doing this now until the bottle's empty. And I know I've got my full 250ml in there, and that's the treatment done. Okay guys, there we have it. It's job to see anything in there now, but that's the treatment in. I shall now keep an eye on my fish for quite a while just to make sure they are okay with it. But that's about it until the next video. I'll let you know how it's gone in the next video. And I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all of you out there for all the great comments. You've been wonderful. But as ever, thanks for watching. Happy ponding.